Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Total War. My name is Napoleon Complex, and today we are expanding in several directions as our enemies start to fall apart. So last time, the Egyptians made a determined counterattack back into Sinai and actually managed to defeat me, much to my dismay. However, they have been thrown back, and now a civil war has started. And now, I think I have the strength to make at least a raid on Palestine and take that lovely income for myself. And once Palestine starts to fall, it'll just be Tripoli, Antioch, and Arabia left. Now, I'm not unaware of the risk of these camels, but with these kinds of numbers, they are gravely weakened compared to what their strength once was. So I reckon that I can win this now. We have achieved a critical naval victory in the closing of the Straits of Gibraltar. This not only means that the Italians can only raid this part of the coast, but it also means that their ships in the Gulf of Cadiz are cut off. And as long as we can hold the Strait of Gibraltar, this entire coastline is safe, and that gives me great freedom of manoeuvre. So that's allowed me to move troops out of Aquitaine, out of Navarre, even a little bit out of Brittany. And it's allowed me to reinforce Normandy and the border with the Holy Roman Empire. And as you can see, I'm pressing into France. And with this mighty army here, I'm hoping to dismiss the French rabble once and for all, bottle them up in champagne, and with that level of income, they will not be much of a problem anymore. It will only be a matter of time until the commanders of France fall. I've done all my income for the turn. We will just give the taxation system a quick once over. We can raise taxes a little bit here. And in Anjou. Aquitaine. Shame we can't raise taxes in Egypt just now, but that should improve. Okay. Let's do it. So the French pull out of Flanders. We've damaged the castle, unfortunately, but they don't even try to fight us. They retreat in Palestine as well, leaving us to mop up this irrelevant unit of peasants, which I will... There we go. Quite a bit of destruction there, unfortunately. Release them. Build a fort in Navarre, so that damage has been repaired. The Turks get one acumen. That's fine. Lots of money from all of that looting. Oh goody. Our royal family continues to be a mess. Look at this. So the Turks have now been split in two, and wow. They've got nothing but peasants and princes. Right. Oh, well, this was what I was afraid of. Unfortunately, loyalty in Palestine is not good. And this could force a withdrawal. Do we have a general with good dread around? Right. Taking a moment to find someone who is suitably scary. I really do want 2 skulls for this one. He will do nicely. And he has a little bit of acumen as well, so that will help us gain some money from the province. We'll get a tower built there. Let's see, what do I have in Cyrenica? Keep those taxes low. As you can see, my loyalty's dropped because it's usually inflated artificially at the start of the turn. That should raise loyalty in Egypt, allowing me to just push a little bit of extra strength into Sinai, and that should let me get a unit of... Let's make a town militia into Palestine. And hopefully with the building going up, that will minimize the risk of a revolt there. It's still significant, but it minimizes the chance. And then I just need to defend my position from counterattack. Now there is the danger of being cut off here. But I've committed now, I'll have to take the risk. Okay, France, Flanders has fallen, but of course unrest dogs us like the plague as always. Now I'm expecting the unrest in Christian lands. The unrest in Muslim lands surprises me. I don't know if there's a specific mechanic at work there. I really want a good acumen governor for Flanders because it's worth so much money. Let's see. Well, if I can bring people in from Anjou, seeing as the Holy Roman Empire has been obliging enough to not leave much of a garrison there. Just move the bulk of our army. Leave the best troops as protection for the province. Let's see. Move these troops in Flanders, and we've secured Flanders. Slightly worried about the possibility of a counterattack, but we have plenty of good troops here. So I really just want to keep the French bottled up until I can get unrest down. There is some possibility of an intervention by the English. I think they bribed the Welsh their side, as I'm guessing that's where those longbows came from. Be very surprised if they could already train the longbowmen. Naval situation, no change. I think I will dispatch some reinforcements to the Straits of Gibraltar, though I do want to protect my principal port. Because, let's see. Right, usual moving and handling. Don't need to be so paranoid about security in Granada anymore. Oh, and I can recruit here now. Move some troops along to here. Will help keep order. And now we need to tackle our finances. So loyalty report. Oops, bit of trouble. Right, how much money do I have to spend? So first of all, how much money will I be spending on troop recruitment? Well, we usually recruit here this turn. So that's our usual 900, 1300, 1200. I've stopped recruiting archers here for some reason. I should continue that. 1750. And I think I can probably recruit some troops in Flanders as well. You know what? Let's recruit some Moorhead foot soldiers. We haven't seen these guys in action yet. So that would be 2200, I believe. So 2200 off 8800, we have about 6600 to spend this turn. Well, the first thing I'm doing is I'm going to get some basic farmland in France, because it's kind of ridiculous that we don't have that. Criminal that Flanders hasn't been upgraded. I know, I don't think we torch farmland. I don't think farmland gets destroyed unless you specifically order it to. Or if you're the Vikings in the the Vikings campaign. Let's see. The Spain is now very well developed. I'd rather look for, and Egypt's still developing. Palestine is building forts. Let's see. 200. So 1800. So we have about 4,800 left to spend. Is Aquitaine worth going for? I'd probably rather get the already built, getting the 60% farmland and yeah, okay. Let's see, 3,300. Brittany's not worth that much. Anjou's not worth that much. Normandy, so yeah. But it's worth getting, so that's 2,300. Get a fort in Sinai. And beyond that, I think I'll keep a bit of a strategic reserve in case things go wrong. Okay, so double check our moves. Side I'm standing my ground there. Just going to be reinforced there. Things are looking okay here. Maybe send some. Send some infantry north to Toulouse. Yeah, okay. Right, next turn. We are the richest. And no one can claim to be as rich as us. Very loyal. No move from our enemies. Well, that might be the last chance they get. Unrest is still slightly worrying in Palestine. But every turn that goes past now we consolidate our position. We are now the ones who are getting stronger, and they are the ones who are getting weaker with every turn that passes. Yeah, Saharan cavalry are not proving themselves to be particularly good soldiers. I can send them along because I've got Almohad militia coming in to replace the... I suppose if ships suddenly appear in next to Cyrenaica, I can always move troops back. So it's no sweat off my back to have them move up. And I feel Tunisia is quite secure now as well. Although the unrest situation doesn't seem to be getting any better there. What about France? Can I finish the French off yet? Very unlikely that I'll have enough soldiers to hold the ground I take, so we'll have to restrain ourselves there. Naval situation, they have been incredibly foolish and moved a single droneman into theatre with us. I really don't know what they were expecting to happen, but we'll sink that this turn with our ridiculous advantage. Anjou does not have a commander, so I'll quickly give them someone. Oh, he'll do nicely. I suppose Anjou gives command. Fortunately not. Hey, if we've got the loyalty, we may as well use it. In fact, if we've got the loyalty here, maybe I can use this. Yep, keep moving troops north. So, I know I'm leaving my border with the Germans quite weak, but I'm kind of going for the kill against the French, so I don't want to. So I want to move forces north to get this under control and then bring them down as soon as possible. Money, well, I've got plenty of money, so once again, I might actually be able to get into a position where I'm building at full speed again, which would be nice. We will go for... Let's try and go after those horse archers, shall we? Warrior's Workshop. Don't think I can build that without a... might be able to build that now, actually. And... Algeria. Well, what need... Go after the elite farmland in... Don't think I'll be able to spend much more than that this turn. Yeah, okay. Kind of just eyeballing it at the moment. I suspect that's all I can spend. And next turn. Really? Oh, this could be a windfall. Let's see if we can capture their king. I don't know what the Italians think is going to happen here. So the Italians must be getting pretty desperate if they're attacking with their king into such a heavily defended province. I don't know what the AI's code told it to do there. Because normally the AI is fairly smart with their attacks. They attack only when they have, relative to yours, more or less overwhelming strength. Which is why I tend to find that I lose when the AI decides to attack me, unless I've got an incredibly strong defensive position, like a river or something. The fact that it's deciding to attack here confuses me a little bit. Keep my general back. There's absolutely no reason for him to risk his life in a battle like this. The Saharan cavalry might come in handy for bringing down the king once he starts to run away. Assuming he does run away, he might stand and fight to the death. Shoot for the Royal Knights. I'm kind of missing Medieval 1's awesome soundtrack here, but it's those copyright claims. I don't know what's going on with them. Okay. Bring them all down. Every one of those Royal Knights that we can kill is an advantage to us. And if we can make it so it's just the king left, that will help a lot. Wow! We killed him! I didn't actually mean to do that. Right, unleash our troops on them. Well, you might wonder, why on earth would you not want to? Why would you not want to kill the king? Well, if you capture him and ransom him back, he's worth 10,000. You heard that right. He's worth 10,000 florins, which, as you'll have seen over the last 6 episodes, is worth an absolute fortune in this game. These guys won't stand for long, not without the king. Losing your ruler inflicts a massive morale debuff. We still managed to lose 4 horsemen. I swear, aside from running fast, all these Saharan cavalry are good for is dying. Try and get after them, they're a larger crowd. If I can get behind them, that would be good. They will be able to withdraw, so I do have to try and catch them. Because they can get on ships and run away. They don't get stranded abroad. Which is quite historical. Even beaten armies did manage to get back to the ships. Famously, Harold Hardrada at the Battle of Stamford Bridge managed to get his soldier, well, get what remained of it. Well, no, he was dead by that time. He didn't make out the battle, but what remained of his army managed to get back to the ships, and I think was they could only use a handful of the ships because that was all that was needed to bring back what was left of the Norwegian army. And once again, if they're willing to pay me for them, they can get those soldiers back. We win in the... Oh wow! That was more money than I expected to get for that. Give me the farmland. Oh, we actually get some good traits for once. See, still trouble in Palestine. I don't like that 95% chance of rebellion. I don't know if we're suffering from spies or what's going on. So we may be forestalled for a while there. And actually public order across the empire isn't looking too good right now. It would actually help if we could get a few more ships. Interesting that the Sicilians are here. Need to watch out for that. How are things in France? Improving, but not right. But if we can finish the French off, that might do the trick. So let's see, what have they got now? They have a unit of... The king will be in charge, so they'll have a 3-star general. They have 2 units of archers, a unit of urban militia. I don't really count the peasants in for much. A few feudal sergeants, so... Okay, mainly archers. So I reckon if I can get a good general and my best infantry together, we can take this now. Good. Move some troops in from Anjou. Also the Burgundian present. They've not got any troops guarding this fairly important province. And that of course will allow me to bring even more troops into the province. Excellent. So the French are going down next turn. Can I move anything out of Brittany? Yes I can. Reorganise my troops while I'm here. Move them to Anjou. I don't think I'll go after the English initially as they're not very wealthy on the island. I'd rather deal with the Germans as my next threat, as my next focus, rather than have to use a bunch of armies here. Because the Germans are still growing in power. I think the English, with their losses, will be more or less static now. That is not a threat that's getting any stronger each turn. Beyond that, well, we know we can't act here. So let's just move our troops. Yep, I was expecting to have some more soldiers. There's enough here to hold off an invasion. I'll send these guys north so these units can continue on their way. It's fine. It's not fine. You know what, let's send in the Almohad foot, just so we can see them in action. Right, finances, and we're flush with cash now. Egypt has finished its construction, so we will definitely be getting the advanced farmland there. No, I should be spending about 2,200 at the moment. What I do need to do is check my construction. Yep. Running a little thin on the ground for troop recruitment there. Let's recruit like this. Camels can be useful. Almost out of archers. Almost out of Almohad Empire militia. Keep recruiting those Murabit and infantry. Okay. So assuming I've got about 2,500 left to spend. Well, that's enough for one more rich farmland, and I'll build it in Lyon. So as usual, mad farmer's gambit, fear my wheat. And I misjudged. Oh, and the Egyptians and Turks are fighting as well, excellent. Okay. Well, they're hanging some troops back in reserve, including some that could actually be helpful. But the only units in this battlefield that are really a threat to us are their archers, and these two units of our militia, and of course the king himself. These peasants will go down easily, and so will the artillery won't be much of a threat. Okay, so I have the Moed foot soldiers. Maybe will be a good pick against either the Royal Knights or the Urban Militia. Everything else can go chasing after the archers. Right, go. Clear and windy with... Okay, fine throughout the day. Excellent. We attack. There's the Urban Militia. Right, let's try and drop in some kind of useful order here, though I doubt the particulars of my formation will end up being relevant in the end clash. Can't really keep my general out of this one. He's my elite. They are my elite infantry. I want them in the fight from the beginning. Let's just spread. It's not exactly imaginative, but let's just spread our archers out front of our line. Interesting. Sending their archers out like that. Oh. Looks like they're coming out for a proper skirmish, which makes sense given the number of archers they have, but I think I can catch them while they're out of formation. Advance. I have no idea what these lot are doing. I hate it when they play with my targeting like that. Those archers have effectively locked themselves out of the battle. Right, fine. If they're going to pull back, I'm going to go and harass their infantry line. Well, looks like they've pulled around to fight us. Well, my infantry advance is soon going to overtake them anyway. Pretty sure at that angle that ballista is as dangerous to the enemy as it is to us. Oh, they just keep pulling back. Not sure if that makes much sense. Try and hit those armed militia with our arrows while we have the chance. Right. Going to smash into those peasants, rout them, hopefully cause a chain rout. Get all our archers to focus on those armed militia. Don't know if you noticed, but they're don't know if anyone will notice that, but I actually managed to get those a flank on those urban militia. The French are just running for their lives here.
Enemy monarch flees in his royal dignity.
Oh, they had nothing. They had absolutely no answer to us. France has lost. The western flank of Christendom has crumbled. Absolutely crumbled. And the heart of Europe lies wide open to us. Oh, they rallied. Very impressive. Very short notice. But this won't take long now. Some of their reinforcements are coming onto the field. They won't last long. Where was that one unit that was behind our line? I didn't forget about them. That could possibly get a bit messy. Those are good troops. Well, sergeant peasants, but the feudal sergeants are good troops. Move it. I don't think the enemy were on the battlefield yet. You can't run forever. Well, fine then, I'll just shoot you to death. But the Moorheads are also fast, and that gives them a massive advantage when it comes to dealing with enemy archers. Not doing so well in this prolonged battle with the peasants, weirdly enough. Or they're probably very tired at this point. We're still struggling.
You're more foolish than 1,000 fools.
Well, that should just about end it. Alright, enough of this. Bring them down. Trying to weaken them to the point where their morale will give out so they can't keep just running away from the enemy infantry anymore. And beyond that, it's really the Moorhead foot who are going to catch the enemy, in my opinion. Let them run. Let them get tired. There we go. I'm not even going to contest that. The enemy are fleeing the field, it's a matter of time. And there we are. Farewell, France. Unfortunately, we've still got the siege to deal with. Highest technological level. So Champagne's loyalty is still a mess. We've destroyed the French now. Wow, public order in Champagne really is poor. Oh, that's to be expected. Pretty much every time we've entered someplace new, public order has been a problem. And the ongoing siege will be exacerbating that. Try and use our more expendable units to actually carry out the siege. I'm sure my javelin will take exception to being called expendable, but they're certainly not as strong as the militia. We've almost got it under control, although that will change if I move a little bit more out of Flanders, because we will be training some Moorheads foot soldiers, and Champagne will lose troops in the siege. They won't last long. How's the unrest in Palestine? Still severe. Well, it might be a while before we can advance onwards from here. I'm working on forts. Well, if I keep sending them, I'm going to keep sinking them. I think I'll move my navy into the Africa coast and start working on a navy from scratch here. 2 ships should be enough to win in most circumstances. There is a chance of a Sicilian attack here, as they'll probably have a ship in the Western Mediterranean. Well, we need to wait for things to calm down in France. So for now, I think we should just focus on our construction. Oh, the Emir of Morocco died. You can be his replacement. Even if I could send an army, I'd never be able to hold the province. Rather than sending them, why don't we send the troops we could actually use in combat? We do need to keep a strong front line in both provinces, so that's a welcome arrival of strength. Thing is, the Egyptians will be easy to crush if we can just expand. It's unrest that's causing the problem. With the arrival of the Sicilians, I need to maintain some strength in Tunisia. In fact, I'm actually somewhat worried about that. Actually, well, I wouldn't go that far. I'd rather draw a weak army in and then cut it off if they're thinking of advancing this turn. Let's not move too much in Aragon or Valencia. We've still got the Italians on our tails. I could start an encouragement into Germany if I can reach Burgundy. That will cut off the this army, but Toulouse's defences are not that great. I suppose I could make the well, and the Ile-de-France is barely loyal. Okay, so not a great deal of excitement on the mobilization front. How about our finances, which aren't looking quite so rosy? So we've got 400, 800, 1150. 1600, 1900, 2300. So that's for so we've got 3100 left. No wait, what am I saying? That's not even close. 2900 left to spend. Well, that's enough for one superior farmland. Or two not so superior farmlands. And we'll leave the rest until later. Because I think I've got enough troop recruitment for now. What I could actually do with is investing in a second home for my navy. The ships are proving to be important. Okay, tax. Can raise taxes in Toulouse. Anjou. Flanders have any flexibility? Draw some troops out of Normandy. No point in taxing the Sinai. There we go. Okay, next turn. You have got to be kidding me. Why did they get 3 armies from that? In a province that was loyal. Okay, what do we... And I can feel my good mood just draining away. Why do they have to get multiple armies of incredibly powerful units? Thankfully, I do have the kind of army that can stop them. Okay, so now I need to use a completely different strategy. We need to trade out the guff and bring in the elites. I really don't want to waste that elite commander if I can avoid it. Because if he's in charge of just the regular unit instead of being the commander-in-chief, he'll be on his own. Let's see. Not worrying about public order just yet, because I will be sending some of the troops in Champagne home. Namely, I will be withdrawing some Murabit foot. Although I don't want a second revolt to go up in Flanders. Let's see. They've only got 5 units of these dangerous feudal sergeants. The mounted sergeants are a bit of a concern, especially with the difficulty level. Peasants aren't going to be a concern. I might go for a weak centre strategy during the battle. So in other words, I might have something like the Murabitans in the centre, and then use my Almohad armed militia on the flanks where they might encounter the enemy's strong cavalry. Worried about Flanders. It's not like loyalty in Champagne is anything to write home about. I guess I'll send them north. Alright, that's probably a good balance. Hopefully the settlement will fall after this turn. Right. That obviously forestalls any aggressive action on the western front. Let's keep things moving north. Can always use the Murabitans as a garrison here. This is unfortunately where the game can turn into something of a grind, because I've beaten my key enemies. It's whether or not I can now keep control of my empire. That's the real challenge. Can I keep control of my empire and expand it out to include the rest of the world, or will, as things had a want to do in history, go horribly wrong and I end up losing everything? Did I forget to move them? Well, without a means of bringing in more troops, I suppose there's really not much I can do at the moment. Buildings, so let's see. 500, 900, 1200, 1600. 2050. No, I'm not recruiting anything else. 1650. So about 4,000 I can spend this turn. Oh, what hasn't upgraded its economy fully? Yeah, alright. I guess Portugal can go for that. No, wait. Anything I can do to improve public order in the Sinai takes priority. Interesting, we can get Berber camels from this. That'll probably do for recruitment. Remember, I got that to recruit as well. Oh, so maybe it's a case of choosing. 1200. That's more expensive. Should be alright. But of course, I've said that before. I suspect something's not going to get built. Right, let's have a battle. It's a lake, that's not a river battle. See what's been kept in reserve, that's fine. And they've got a bunch of peasants in reserve, that's also fine and expected. So we've got 6, so I would say 5 top quality units by the standards of the age, with mounted sergeants as well proving problematic. The spears could prove a problem as well. Count, so let's say about 10 effective units, with maybe the militia sergeants being slightly problematic. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it's 10 to their 10. And we can have our Murabatan infantry in the center, and our archers on the flanks, providing fire and distracting enemy peasants. Oh no, wait, that's a terrible idea. Why would I do that? They get hit so hard by the cavalry, they would get knocked into space. Command the defense personally, because we're definitely not auto-resolving this. And of course they attack in the rain. Now this forest could help protect us against the enemy cavalry. It might also inhibit my archers though. Right, let's see. So I'm going to have my army follow the contours of the forest. Lots of veteran troops in my army now. So I could, let's see. I'm going to drop an army like this, and I might actually want to double layer my army. Oops, that's the unit I just selected. Right, keep this lot back in reserve. And the same can apply to our commander. And let's not forget about him, but he can come in, particularly once this Murabatan screen starts to buckle, which I fully expect it will. Don't have so many enemy range units to worry about, so I'll just draw my archers up outside the forest in normal formation. If I deploy them inside the trees, it will inhibit their field of fire. And if the enemy do attack that unit of desert archers, they'll get hit in the side by the troops in the forest. And the Almohad foot soldiers, these guys could be key to stopping the enemy cavalry. So I'll deploy them over here, where they're heading. Here they come. The AI is being very aggressive with its cavalry there, but of course because of my rather passive position, I can't really take advantage of it. What I can do is shoot arrows at them. And if they are stupid enough to come up this hill to try to get at my archers, I think we all know what's about to happen. Yeah, they're not quite that stupid. I do need to make sure that I'm not foolish enough to let my archers get drawn down the hill. See? Oops. Stop. Get back in position. Because they have to attack, they have to beat us this battle. If they don't, then they their army will fall as well, and their army will fall along with the rebels inside the castle. Well, this works for me. Please, all gather around to get shot at. And so just start shooting at the mounted sergeants, you'll get the incoming enemy cavalry as well. Well, I might normally have something nice to say about the Total War AI, but I really can't say anything good about this. They really should know better than to... But on the other hand, what is the enemy cavalry supposed to do when my army's in a forest like this and they're obliged to attack? But they could use their forces a little bit more effectively than this. They're becoming a little bit exposed there. Of course, these archers are about to run out of ammunition, but at least they've been able to fire pretty much at will. Don't fall back too far yet. Okay. Fall on them. That's a little bit too aggressive, don't you think? Good riddance to bad rubbish. Get back in position. Oh, what the rest of their army's doing. Going to do this the bad old French way, are we? Try and do everything with the cavalry and forget about the infantry. That's a rather stereotypical representation, but that was nonetheless. I'm not afraid of 6 horses. Well, if the enemy keep this up, I'm going to run out the clock. These archers are basically out. I'm actually going to bring over some fresh archers from somewhere else in the field, seeing as this seems to be the key part of the enemy's effort. They've got to try something. They're sending troops all the way around the lake, but that's actually probably where I've concentrated most of my forces. I don't think the AI knows what to do, because I'm in a very strong defensive position here. And probably one that would be hard for a human player to attack. Unfortunately, it looks like we've got the long time limit. The one that is the full 60 minutes. So those feudal sergeants are running at us and they probably knackered themselves in the process. Americans use the word knackered to mean tired. I got the impression it was a rather British term. This is just sad. Those feudal sergeants are such good troops when used properly, especially with all the AI's bonuses. And they're just getting shot to pieces. If this keeps up, the battle's going to go before it's even begun. Bring out the javelin and have them attack as well. Unfortunately, these guys are almost out of arrows. Yep, okay, don't waste more javelins. Volley after volley going into those. I don't think they're going to have a chance to throw their javelins, unfortunately. If the Murderbitons could possibly attack those spearmen, that would be great. Especially since they've got the enemy general. What the heck is going on? Did these guys somehow... I think these guys somehow got into a tower formation. Oh dear, I think the captain might be about to... Oh god! Stupid, stupid, stupid thing to do. Get the archers back, right, and now we need our... Come on. Trees are making it hard to select my soldiers. This is them as well. Right. Right, enough. Let's end the charade. Upgrade that would increase enemy resistance substantially. Bring them around to flank. Try and get them to rally as soon as possible. I don't expect my urban militia to have much trouble here. That will be an absolutely crushing flank attack. They're still getting javelins chucked at them. That might honestly be affecting my troops worse. I'm going to start to bring out my other hidden troops. As far as I'm concerned, this is just about over. Charge. And they'll start to use the Murbatons to chase down the enemy's fleeing troops. Not that there's much point, to be honest, because they're going to lose this army anyway, but I suppose it may as well give my troops some more experience. These spearmen are actually making a fight of it. But under that kind of pressure, I don't think it's going to be much of a fight. Bring them into flank just in case it does prolong. Our desert archers, they're quite quick, they might be able to catch some of these routing troops. It's a shame these guys got driven off. Ah yes, fanatics, I'm sure they'll be great against heavily armoured soldiers. Given that fanatics are really just peasants armed with clubs and a mug of artificial courage. There goes the militia rebel sergeants. Now they might actually do some damage. Are they still resisting here? And the fanatics just got slaughtered. And the enemy general is in captivity. Oh no, he's here.
Enemy general is taken and awaits his just fate.
That's the end of it. As for whether you should release captured rebels or execute them, I don't think there's much difference in the result. I think it just affects the traits your generals get. And one bonus from fighting down a rebellion like this is that you get money from the land you seize from the defeated rebels. Because of course, if there are any nobles involved, they're all stripped of their titles. Anything they own is forfeit. So for the bloodthirsty amongst you, be assured that the rebels do suffer regardless of what you do to them. $2,674 much needed florins to us, and I will choose to be merciful. No, I was kind of hoping that would be it. Magnificent Steward, that will help because that means that will mean more money for us. Right. Loyalty's gone down in Palestine. That's a kick in the teeth. They must be using spies or something. Champagne's still not loyal. Thankfully, next turn the region will fall if it hasn't already. Will fall. But it's a little frustrating that it hasn't already. The unrest continues to be problematic. It's very frustrating knowing you have the superior force, but still needing to build up the public order to actually realize that. Well, it looks like the Sicilians have withdrawn anyway. let's see. We'll send what troops we can to... Be careful not to send too many to Palestine. Remember, if the enemy counterattacks, I do need to be prepared to receive it. Thing is, if I'm needing this number of soldiers to keep Palestine in check, how many soldiers do you think I'll need to keep Tripoli? It's interesting that Toulouse is so powerfully militarized. I think I do need to start focusing more on recruitment. A few more places to recruit Almohad urban militia, and I want a few more places to train archers. Things are better in Germany. I might be able to make a go of an attack on the Germans now. Unfortunately, it'll be the next turn until I get a decent commander in the area. And that is obviously problematic. Should be enough to hold off most Italian attacks. But if you think unrest is bad in France, wait until we get them to have to attack Germany as well. Right, let's start trying to take these turns quickly. We need... What time is it now? Well, that's been an hour. What I'm going to try and do is I'm going to start making jump cuts in between the turns, because this is taking forever and you guys don't want to see every single financial decision I take. So next time I will start speeding things up. Farewell. Sorry, before I go, thank you for watching the video so far. Please consider liking and subscribing, and I will see you in the next one. But farewell for now. Goodbye.